Divine beings, how's it going today? How is everybody? I hope everyone is well, and if you are not, that you are working your way to becoming well. This is a challenging day for me, so I'm having to work my way through being well, but my day started off rough, and then it continued rough until maybe maybe an hour or two ago. Things have calmed down, but it's still just a tiny bit rough. I wouldn't say tiny bit rough. It's still a little rough. So it's just one of those days. Most of my days kind of start off rough, but then, things eventually level out. So I am here at the park about to get on my bike and ride and soak in the sun. I'm probably going to stay out here a good amount of the rest of the afternoon into the evening, as I was advised to do so. Then I'm going to go back home and get some work done. So I'm at the park. I told you guys I would kind of bring you out in nature with me, but it's just one of those days, and I'm just going to have to talk to you guys before I get off into what I need to do for myself. Self-care, right? That's why I'm out here. But, I definitely try to make sure that I get my outdoor time in every weekend. And the energy is just weird because of the approaching retrograde, which I think starts on the 27th of June, the 26th, 27th, or somewhere in there. You guys can look that up because I don't know the exact date if you are into that sort of thing. I keep up with them because I am highly sensitive to the astrological shifts and events that take place, and just the different energies, not only that what people give off, but just as a whole. you know, Even when Sister Moon is doing her thing, I'm in sync with her, and we rocking together and rolling together. And then, like I said, I just have to get out here and ground myself. Seems like pretty much damn near every day, in order to stay sane. And then I'm having to do energetic clearance every day in order to stay sane and keep going what I need to have going. But other than having a tough beginning of my day, things are looking pretty good. I don't have not one thing to complain about, but they're there to complain about because it's not where I want it. And I want it to be certain things to be done, or I'm wanting certain things to be in a certain place at this point, because I've been in hell for all of my life. So I'm still coming out of hell, but like I said, it's looking good. It's looking good, and I struggle with extreme PTSD because of it, and because it's been a long ride in hell. And like I said, today is just one of those days where it's challenging, and it was challenging from the beginning. And what spirit has been screaming at me, 3:35, and I noticed on the timer. What spirit is screaming at me today specifically is the angelic number 101, which means I need to get my ass in order and get on a high vibration quick, because all of the things that's meant for me that spirit wants to bring in and that is coming in for me, they need me to be in the proper energetic energy, which means on a high vibrational level, in order to receive everything, in order to not fuck it up. 4:04 on the timer. And that is why a lot of things that, is meant for us is held 4:11, held back, because spirit just delays it, because it's like, okay, you don't have your attitude together. You don't have your energy in the proper place. So what makes you think that I'm going to give you these things or this person or this opportunity and your energy is still fucked? So spirit's like, okay, you got to get it together. So I'm working on that, but I need to do a better job of working on it, because I feel like I'm just still sitting in this energetic, I'm just stewing, and I need to stop stewing and work harder at getting out of that energy. that I've been in for actually several months, but it's been difficult because I've not been feeling my best. But I'm getting there and I'm feeling better every day, and that's good. Everything's moving in the positive direction. So, yeah, it's not going to be cupcakes and rainbows and glitter every day. That's just not realistic. I haven't ever seen days like that. So I wouldn't know. I've had some good days, but then there was always just this thing in the background or things in the background that made it a little bit difficult to be fully in it, if that makes sense. Like fully in that positive glow of energy that surrounded me and wanted to take over fully, but then there were just always these little things. And it's just those little things. It's like I want to get rid of those little things. I'm tired of them lingering. So again, I made my list, my healing list. I redid it. I was telling you guys that not too long ago that I didn't rewrite it. I would just say I made a complete whole new list altogether, and it's pretty lengthy. So I got my work cut out for me, okay? But that's okay, because whatever I need to do in order to get where I need to be in all aspects of my life, I'm going to do it because I feel like I definitely deserve it after everything that I've been through and after the series of battles after battle after battle after battle. So, yeah, I guess what I'm on here talking about is just the PTSD. I know that some of you guys have endured quite a bit of it, and it's uh, it's just a huge blockage. It can tend to be such a huge blockage. The love that you even want to show yourself, you can't because of this blockage in the way. And all of these voices that come up and say that, hey, you're not worthy of even loving yourself. So what makes you think you're not, that you're worthy of someone else's love and things like that. And when you know that, you deserve love. But, we, of course, have to display that with ourselves by making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, indulging in self-care every day in whatever way that may be. I just feel like that is really important because showing love to ourselves will allow us, once we master that will allow us to be able to love others the way that they deserve to be. We don't deserve to put our troubles and PTSD onto anyone else. So we have to make sure that we are taking care of all of those lingering issues in all aspects or whatever aspects of our lives that are just there haunting us and keeping us enslaved and bonded to it. But yeah, today I got a little angry earlier about a situation. I was hoping to get some understanding about something that happened, and I went to see if it would be honored, and they were just like, no. So I'm glad though that happened, and it just upset me because it's like, okay, there's no expectation of handouts. There should not be that ever, but just someone to be understanding that things happen, especially when things can present chaotic moments, and then things happen, accidents happen. But just some people just aren't, especially if they're meant to test you, they're not going to understand anything that comes out of your mouth. So of course they're not going to grant what you're asking, especially if it's reasonable, right? And it was a reasonable request, so that upset me even more on top of what I was already feeling. But I feel better because I went home and I cleansed my energy and I realized what that situation meant. I received the lessons from what happened. So that was a good thing about it. I was able to take away what I needed to take away from that situation that happened that angered me even more. But dealing with a little bit of anger today. So definitely needing to look into that today and making sure that I'm getting enough rest, and I continue to keep myself hydrated, but also indulging in self-care every day so that I can keep things down by grounding myself and maintaining balance, through and through. But whatever it is that you all are battling, as I've said that mine, one of them anyway, I'm not going to go into everything because I don't want that to be used against me. However way that will be, but there's always people listening and trying to, take advantage of your weak points. So I'm not about that life. I just wanted to say, hey, anger is one that I was battling today. Because of just a lot of other things that are just kind of taking place. But here again, life is good, but there's just a lot of internal things I'm needing to work through. But life is still good. I have everything I need. I don't need for anything. I may want for some things, but I don't need for anything. So if that is you, you're not needing for anything, but maybe just a little upset because you're not getting what you want. You have what you need. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, because there's so many people out here that don't even have what they need. And they just wish that they had just one thing on their list that they needed. And they don't. So we are batting a 1,000 and should be very grateful for the fact that we have what we need. 113, as I said that, we have everything we need. So even with the internal struggles that we're battling, be it anger, be it depression, be it frustration, be it that you're upset because things aren't working out the way that you want them to, I feel that the way things line up when things aren't going our way is a form of protection, and we just can't see it. And I know you hear that all the time, and it's so true, though. I found that to be so true in all instances. That's just 121, as I said, that's just the way it is. It's just protection, but we just can't see what we're being protected from and why we need to be protected from that. And, we get frustrated because it's like, well, I wanted that, or I wanted this to work out, but protection. And, we need to also remain in a state of gratitude for the fact that, there's a higher power up there or out there or wherever that deems us important enough and loves us enough and cares for us enough to protect us when we don't, get what we want and things don't go our way. 252, as I said that. So, you just need to calm down. If you're anything like how I'm feeling today, I was angry. I'm not angry anymore. I went ahead and cleansed my energy. I used my Palo Santo and I burned it, and I cleansed my energetic field and my auric field, mind, body, soul, chakra system, nervous system, and avatar of all negative energy, of all demons, all dark energies, dark entities, spell work of all kinds, energetic projections of all kinds, and of any attacks of all kinds, because we again are nearing a retrograde, officially in the pre-shadows of it. So people are going to be mean. People are not going to understand you. They're going to misunderstand you. There's going to be like you're speaking a different language than the person that you're speaking to is. And for whatever reason, there will be miscommunication. But these things are normal. You're going to have issues with your technology. Things are just, this is a place where we need to slow down and take a breath and just, go inward and look at all of the things that we need to assess about ourselves. That's what retrogrades are great for. So I definitely will be, during this retrograde, taking a look at everything on my list. But again, there's only one thing I'm going to be focused on at this present time. But I understand that some of you are hurting. Some of you can't get over a breakup, or you can't believe that somebody said something that they said to you, and you would have never said anything to them that would have hurt them the way that they hurt you. And you just can't seem to shake it, and you can't disconnect from situations or people or places that you need to disconnect from. Listen, I get it, but I've had to disconnect and leave behind so many. and so many opportunities I missed out on because I remained connected and listened to what was being said. That almost made me miss, opportunities. That's why we need to have a mind of our own and cut out all the interferences that can come in from others, or even energetically, if they are not coming from the person physically. So we just need to be mindful of all of these things and work on our PTSD, or work on our stressors, whatever they may be. Whatever is troubling you, you need to examine that, or those things, if it's more than one thing. 534, as I said that. I'm just calling out angelic numbers that I see all the time. You all might be seeing them too. I will put them in the description like I did the last video. I'm going to start doing that because I receive so many synchronicities and numbers throughout the day. It's so many I can't keep up with. It's got to be over hundreds a day. So very tapped in with spirit. I love them so much, but I just feel shame today as well, because I feel that I need to really get my vibration on a high level. But again, as I'm getting better, I'm 161, as I said, that I am needing to really take that serious, that message that they're telling me about getting on a high vibration. The shame is stemming from just a simple fact that I don't feel that I'm being as grateful as I need to be. And if any of you feel like that, I guess we're in the same boat. Let's work this one together, okay? Let's be grateful. Let's be grateful as soon as we wake up. Let's be grateful when we look around our places and we have lights and, we have air, for those of us that are in the season of summer, or we have heat if we're in the opposite seasons that are not bringing in the summer weather on the outdoors. Let's be grateful that, all of our utilities are on, and if we were able to pay our bills this month, that we have the resources to be able to afford them, that there's food in our refrigerator, or we ate today, that we could see, that we could smell, that we could taste, that we could touch, that we could hear, and that we have our intuitive gifts, our sixth senses. It's just a beautiful day out here, so I'm going to get it together. I'm going to release all of this stuff that I'm feeling, and then I'm just going to remain in a state of gratitude. But we are human. We have the right to feel what we feel on a day-to-day, especially if we have endured PTSD. PTSD is very serious. When you have had some very difficult lessons that you've had to learn in this walk of life, in this realm, they stain your soul. And I like to call that PTSD. But we can work through these different things. They don't have to become our lives. They don't have to define us and slide themselves into forcing their way into our character, but also just replaying that or those events every day, day in and day out, shaming us, making us feel guilty. Look, don't give the enemy any ammunition. So that's why I said healing is so important. And I hope that each of you are taking your healing work serious, because you know that there's something wrong, you know that there's a wound there, and just ignoring it day by day, it's not going to go away. It's going to remain. So there's something that you're going to have to do about it sooner than later, or it's going to ruin your life, causing you to miss out on all the things that you know that you deserve. But we got to do our work, though. We got to do our work in order to call the things in that we deserve. So I am going to go out here and raise my vibration. It is higher than what it was. I'm going to raise my vibration. I'm going to fight to raise my vibration so that the enemy won't have any reason to attack me, and I'm not giving it any source or any way to siphon my energy. I'm going to tell it to go fuck off, and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to ride my bike. I'm going to take in the sights. I'm going to breathe in the fresh air and be grateful that I can ride a bike, because some people can't even walk. So let alone ride a bike, it's not happening. So So I'm going to get my bike from the back of my truck and I'm going to go out here and ride. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beautiful Sunday. 2:02. Because I said that. I hope that you guys find something that you can get into that will allow you to raise your vibration if your vibration is low. And for those of you, if your vibration is high, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Continue to keep your vibration high. But if you get to a place where it lowers, you find something that you know will allow you, that you can do, that will allow you to raise it. You know, cleanse your energy. Journal. Go outside. Go outdoors if you can. Listen to some music. That is a great way to raise your vibration. Fix yourself a nice healthy snack, or your favorite snack, or your favorite meal. Make yourself your favorite drink. You know, whatever that is for you. You know, have a beautiful conversation with your spirit team. Tell them how you're feeling. You know, ask them for help and assistance with raising your vibration or with whatever it is that you're battling today. There's different things that come up every day, so on a day-to-day, it's a constant battle. But you can get through this. We will get through this. 117, as I said that. 211, as I said it. You're going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. Alright, guys, so I'm not going to make this long. I'm trying to keep my little weekend videos not too long because, you know, people want to enjoy their weekend, and I'm one of them. But however the messages need to come out, you know, we need to allow time to, you know, to get them out however they're going to come out. Alright, so I love you guys. If no one has told you that they love you today and that you're beautiful today, you're needed. You are supposed to be here, because if you were not supposed to be here and exist, you wouldn't be here. But because you are meant to be here. And divine beings, you are meant to do great and amazing things. So don't let anybody tell you anything different, including yourself. Alright, love, peace, grace, and I will see you guys tomorrow.